Guys, what's up? Welcome back to another video, and today we're doing the Can-Am X3 5150 eyebrows, as you guys might have guessed from the video thumbnail. But before we do that, before we install these, we're doing a giveaway, and by we I mean the Fat Rooster over on Instagram. If you haven't followed him, you need to. He's been giving away chase lights, LED pods, LED light bars, rock lights, and a bunch of other stuff like whips too. So definitely gotta go check him out on Instagram, give him a follow. Not only is it gonna be eyebrows for the X3, if you have a razor, you can also win the fangs. If you have a Pro XP, you can win the mustache. So the rules are simple. Comment down below and like this video. And if you want a second entry, all you gotta do is go to the Fat Rooster's Instagram and comment on the post that I linked down below in the description. Give him a follow, comment on that video, and that'll be your second entry to possibly win these eyebrows or fangs or mustache or whatever the hell it is you got on your ride. We're gonna get you a set.
First things first.
All right guys, so before we get started, let's just go over a couple things so you guys are familiar. These are the OEM Can-Am factory LED strips. Now these aren't very bright, and the reason they're not very bright is there's not a lot of LED strips in there. There's only a couple down below, and this reflector reflects them up the light and it makes it look like it's a whole long strip, but they're not very bright. And if you guys notice at the very tips here, they're not bright at all. They're actually really dim, but they do look cool. So Can-Am did a nice job designing those, but 5150 took it one step further. Whoops. And they designed these with a crap ton of freaking LED chips, like so many in there.
Damn!
It looks freaking awesome. They're pretty much the same kind of mold, same screw points. Nothing's gonna really change. They look different up here, but that doesn't matter. And then the connector, would normally you would plug in there, you're no longer gonna use that connector. You're gonna tape that away, and you're gonna use this plug and the harness that they give you. And speaking of the harness, here it is. So this is the harness. This is the same harness that you can find on the 5150 187 whips, which these will sync to. If you guys saw our 5150 video, we showed you guys all the options as far as how the whips sync with the eyebrows, how the eyebrows can sync with the rock lights, and so on and so on. We'll link that down below. And this is the little module that they give you with these whips, or excuse me, with these eyebrows. It'll be a similar situation for you guys out there with the Razor XP or Razor Pro or Razor S or whatever you got, Turbo S. It's gonna be a similar module, pretty much the same exact thing. The only thing will change is the actual accent lighting. So you got different, wires here. One's gonna be your ground, one's gonna be your power, and those are the only two I'm gonna be using today because I don't really need turn signals. We're in California, they won't let us use this on the streets anyways. And the other wire, which is for brake lights, I don't want my front lights turning into brake lights, even though that's a cool feature. Now I already ran this in my vehicle. There's many ways to power these lights. I decided to power these lights with my whips. As you can see here, the whips are on, and now my accent lighting for my eyebrows are on. So on your vehicle it may be different. On your vehicle you may want to just wire them to the existing power and ground that comes off that switch, or because you're gonna be wiring these to your 187 whips, possibly you just wire them to a whip switch. So definitely different ways to do it. I'm not gonna go into the power and ground. I'm just gonna show you guys how to install it on this or my X3. So let's get to it. All right guys, first things first, you're gonna have to loosen up this front end. Now there's two ways to do this. There's gonna be the way that I'm gonna show you guys today, which is sneaking out the lights. It may or may not be a little bit difficult for some of you. And the other way is actually taking out the whole front end and taking the front end apart on a stand and then just removing the light that way. I don't want to do that because that means I'm going to take off my lights, and I'm going to take off the rock light and take off a bunch of other stuff. And because this thing's wrapped, it's a little finicky, and I don't want to deal with any of that stuff right now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you guys how to do it the flat rate way, which is a familiar term for you mechanics out there like me. It means trying to get the job done, I guess not really cutting corners, but trying to do it as fast as possible, and not always following the directions given by the manufacturer. First things first, you're gonna want to remove the bolt and nut here. You want to take that off, and you're also gonna want to take off the screws here. And that's gonna have the front end get loose. So now we can move the front end up and down. Next we're gonna do the three screws that hold on this whole headlamp assembly. Obviously you need to unplug it. There's gonna be a couple torques. There's gonna be one right on the back side of this screw that's here. There's one down here. There's a 7mm right there, and there's another screw that holds this light, and it's on the inside over here. Very difficult to see. There's a Torx there, and the whole thing will come out, and I'll show you guys on the other side. So it'll be one Torx there, and a 7mm right there. And this is actually backwards. So 2 on the top, 1 on the bottom. So I got all 3 screws off and the plug unplugged, and this guy just literally pops off, and set this guy aside. Now you're gonna want to remove the screws that are actually holding the headlight to the panels. And I'll show you guys this on the one that's right over here. There's gonna be one at the very top here. There's gonna be another one here, and then a third one right here on this big plug. Now we're gonna remove all three, but I'm only gonna install 2 of them. The reason being is because this one is a big giant pain in the butt to reinstall, and we're not gonna do that. Remember, we're flat rating it. The very top one here is really easy to get to, and this one isn't that bad either. I'll show you guys right now. All right guys, you can see right here where the other Torx used to be. Yes, it's very close to the radiator, and it's pretty simple. All you gotta do, since the panels are now loose, is move the whole thing towards you, and you should have access to the Torx with a ratchet. Now the thinner the ratchet and the shorter the Torx, the better, and you'll be able to get that off. The other one is right here and really easy to get to, no big deal. The one that is a pain in the butt is definitely this guy here. As you can see, this panel is in the way and very difficult to get to this one. Now, even if you took off the whole fascia, you would have to take apart other Torx and separate these 2 halves, but I'm trying to get this done fast because we're running out of daylight. And what I'm gonna do is get a set of these, torque lock, channel lock, vice grip style pliers with a skinny needle nose, and we're gonna take that screw off. Now it's not that hard. You guys might get a little discouraged, but remember, this is plastic that it screws into. It's really not that hard. All you gotta do is get a good grip on that, twist it off, take your time, and you'll get that screw right off. The screw that's in there, you gotta make sure you're very careful with the radiator. I did want to mention that. All right guys, once you got that 1, 2, and 3 screw off, it's pretty simple. You can just pry this over, and this whole thing is gonna slip right out. So here's the new one, same exact process, but in reverse. All right guys, it's hard to catch on camera because these lights are really bright, but damn, these things look freaking sick. I'm so excited. Big shout out to Oscar and Andy over at 5150 Whips. And the 187 whips would look cool on this, but I'm so happy with the hyper whites or the hyper colors. They're super bright white, and these freaking these lights here, they freaking match. And not just that, they do all sorts of dancing colors. So it's hard to see right now, but it's actually a light blue. I'll try to change the colors up just so you guys can get a good view. Oh, there's red, green, blue, yellow, purple, like a turquoise color, and then white, which is what I'm gonna leave them in. And here are some of the functions. Now, I'm probably not gonna rock these kind of colors. I'm just saying.
Gay?
Guilty.
But I'm definitely gonna rock this right here, or this. Maybe green, not really, but this one for sure. Red, white, and blue, baby. America?
Fuck yeah! What you gonna do when we come for you?
That looks freaking sick. The white obviously looks freaking sick. This pattern looks really cool when you speed it up. I don't know if it's catching it on camera as well as it should, but it looks freaking nuts. Same thing with red. You can do it with red. It looks really cool. I could pretty much make a custom thing here with the app. This is the BLE dim app, and you can pretty much hold on to one of the things here, choose the colors you want. So I want blue and white, and then we'll choose what pattern they do. There's different patterns. If I want to throw in a little bit of red, take out the yellow and blue. You guys get the picture. Lots of different functions from these eyebrows. Same exact thing if you get the Razor Turbo S fangs, or the Pro XP mustache, or some of the other accent lighting that they have, like for the YXZ. So big shout out to 5150 Whips, Oscar and Andy for hooking me up. And shout out to the Fat Rooster. If you want to join this giveaway, really simple, comment down below. Also comment down below on the link, the very first link in the description. Go to his Instagram page, follow him, and comment on that link, and you enter for a second entry. And yeah, like always, stay dirty.
Stay dirty.